spent my whole life wishing I was somewhere else. And when I was, I couldn't wait to come back. A small farm that I grew up on in Tappendale seemed so quiet. There were quite a few of us packed in. There was Mum, Nana and Grandad, Auntie Mary, she was the caretaker, and Uncle Henry. Now, Uncle Henry was the gardener, but Uncle Henry had been in the army. Oh, he made it sound like such a great adventure. He used to make me little toys out of wood, little soldiers. Told me about the faraway places that he'd seen and getting into all sorts of trouble with his pals. So it was perhaps no surprise that as soon as I was old enough to leave, I did. I was a butcher and a forester for a bit. But then when war was declared, I went straight to Preston and signed up with my mates. I said to the recruiting sergeant, I want to see the world. I don't want to spend my time looking after animals, feeding animals, cleaning animals, mucking out animals. And he was impressed. Said the work on the farm had done me good and I should join the Royal Field Artillery. Now the artillery's cannons, and he put me to work as a driver that looks after the horses that pulls the cannons. So I'd left the farm only now to be cleaning horses, feeding horses and mucking out horses. I don't mind. I like horses. We had a few of them on the farm. Just to go out riding sometimes. They don't like boats though. I know that. They hate boats. It's the rocking. They don't like rocking horses. First boat I was on in the war, 7th of June 1915. Got on the boat and they didn't like that. And I thought boats were supposed to be waterproof. But it leaked. There was water on the floors, water through the planks, water in the bilges on purpose. On one storm, water got in the storeroom, and there were loads of tins in there. Tins everywhere, tins of corned beef, bully beef, vegetables, tins of jam, butter, tins of biscuits, tins of coffee, tins of tea, cocoa, tins of sherbet, tins of lemon powder, and all that water got in and washed all the labels off. Uncle Henry was right. The army was an adventure. Well, breakfast was for those 4 weeks. We had no idea what we were eating until we opened a tin, whether it was going to be coffee or lemon powder. Didn't stay in Egypt very long, where we'd sailed to. We went straight away to Gallipoli. And that was a different boat ride altogether. We arrived under heavy fire, and the boats were supposed to have landed at the beach, but they were getting stuck in sandbanks about 80 yards out. We had no choice. We had to drag those horses from the boats across the beach, across the sucking mud. And there were boats capsized, upside down, shattered to pieces. There was one boat, 2 chaps inside, and it only survived by making a hole through it through which to breathe. Can you imagine dragging those horses across that beach under a storm of gunfire? Those horses had heavy canvas bags on their backs with 8 shells and another one on top. That's 9 shells per horse of live ammunition to carry through a storm of bullets that's so strong you can hear the bullets hitting each other. And you got to go slow because that beach is mud, and you can hear the scream and the men and the horses. One mare gave birth to a foal on that beach, and they both survived. By the time we got back to the trenches, 17 of our lot were killed, and over 200 more wounded. And then the Turks attacked around about 9 a.m, screaming, shouting and shooting. And then every morning was like that. We'd shoot at them, they'd shoot at us, and then men would get injured. Men would die, men would be replaced, and horses would get injured, and horses would die, and horses would be replaced, and on and on and on. And eventually, something just switches off up here. You start thinking about something else. And going home. Tatton Farm, green fields and bird song, woodpeckers, the sound that cows make when they're going out for milking. Horses when they're happy. The sound the wind makes blowing through the trees. I got sick. Really sick. Malaria. It saved my life. Got me taken off the front lines. And then when the armistice was declared, I got to go home. To Tatton. To Fields. And best of all, to Elsie Byron. Or Mrs. Herbert Sanders, she is now. And we both live on the farm, and I'm the caretaker. And I take care to be thankful of a simple life. And who knows, maybe one day we'll have animals of our own running around the place, cleaning them and feeding them and mucking them out. Might even make them toys out of wood, like Uncle Henry did for me. Mine'll be horses, though. Not soldiers.